Today I'm talking about games to incorporate in your games. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mo. I talk about TTRPGs, including D&D, quite often, and I want to talk a little bit about physical games. So obviously the disclosure is that some of these games can be adapted to be played online, but this is kind of focused towards in-person games because these are things that I've done, and I run a home brew campaign at my house here. So let's get started. The first thing I need to talk about, obviously, is Three Dragon Ante. Three Dragon Ante being an in-world D&D game that also has a physical copy. It's really interesting to watch your players play a physical game, especially if it's something that they're very familiar with, how that lends itself into role-playing. So hilarity can kind of ensue if you're making a sleight of hand check, something like that, to steal somebody else's card, and to watch that actually play out at the table is really exciting. But any trick-taking or like fast or quick round type of game will do. Something like Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. We've incorporated Ratuki, which is a game that people at my table already really liked. So you get the excitement of your table playing a game that they already really like, and then that lends itself into role-playing, especially when they know it really well. So also, obviously, any dice game will do. Anything from Yahtzee to the Critical Role inspired rollies can also be fun. However, I just think that card games are really immersive for some reason for the role play aspect. So for Tavern games, keep an eye out for trick-taking games, especially when you can get them on sale or on Christmas or at a local thrift store. Speaking of which, moving on to puzzles, I got this game still in its packaging at the thrift store for $1.99. It's one of those escape room type games. This is Exit the Game, The Pharaoh's Tomb, and it comes with things like this cipher, something physical that you can give out to your players that you didn't have to spend time to create. And it really helps with different creative solutions for not having to do, maybe create the cryptexes and things yourself if you're short on time, or if you're not somebody that typically homebrews. This can all be put into modules. Something like the Secret Enigma box, which I've used in the past. Having something physical that they're passing around to solve this puzzle, especially if riddles are not your party's thing. I've seen so many people on here talking about how they gave their players a preschool level riddle that the players just continued to overthink ad nauseum, and then were not able to solve the puzzle, or it took them 2 hours to solve a puzzle that was intended for kindergartners. So something like this really can kind of get them out of their mind if that kind of riddle thing is not for them. Just replacing something that you don't think is going to work for your table with something like this is amazing. I also want to talk about something I think is really slept on, and that is murder mystery games. So we kind of hit on the escape room games, which is very similar. I know that Five Below, I have a friend that just got a escape room game from Five Below that had puzzles that they can incorporate. So spoilers, I guess, for Hunt a Killer, Death at a Dive Bar. When you buy games like this, they come with little props, things that you can reuse. So if you already have these games, you can take aspects of them, like this that needs a code to unlock, and you can use it in your game. Also, the dossier portion, you can change aspects or rewrite aspects or draw inspiration from it of making your own dossier. So for example, some Hunt a Killer type victim, you instead change it to an NPC. Maybe it's a beloved NPC. Maybe it's somebody within this town that knew a lot of information. Maybe a patron hires your party to solve this mystery or solve this murder. You present them with a whole bunch of physical evidence in a dossier, and you let them figure out the mystery. This can also be really good for lore drops or important information that maybe you've hinted at in the past and your party just didn't latch onto it. You can present it in a new way. So instead of just saying out loud, they were going to meet somebody at this place, they have a little note, something that they can piece together. Maybe for that session you have a cork board or something else very physical where your party can get up and role play as that specific like aspect of it. So I just really think that things with props and things with physicality can really enhance a game, especially when it's a game where you're sitting around a table role playing, and that's really exciting. But watching people and physically move and role play their characters and how they go about solving these things is really interesting. So this is a very long video, but if you have comments, put them down below if you have other suggestions of different games and puzzles that can be incorporated, and I will see you next time.